ready for bed at a regular time is one of the most important habits you can learn.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters! Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Ooh, Lori, scared another one away.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back.
We are counselors at Hackett's Quarry Summer Camp. There is a swarm of bears.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
No! Glenn! Somebody help me, please!
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you.
It's showtime.
Hello, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Scream Stream, everybody. And on today's, I can't even say fabulous and wonderful episode, because I'm going to be dead honest. I did not like this movie, but we are talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, I don't know really where to start with this movie, because of the fact that it is such a shitty fucking movie. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's a bad movie. The reviews... the reviews say it all. It's a bad movie. It's not written well. It's somewhat directed decently. Like, there's some nice shots in there. Don't get me wrong. My problem, though, is that whoever wrote this literally just went in there with the aspect of, oh my god, Winnie the Pooh is finally in the domain. Let's see how much we can fuck over Disney. Which, like I was explaining to AJ before we started on this whole podcast, is this is a very fine line when it comes to the public domain. This is one of the bigger reasons why I'm speaking about this, is because this whole public domain thing is a pretty big deal, especially for movie creators, especially horror creators, because I want to say this year it is Winnie the Pooh and a couple other like smaller things coming in public domain. Next year is when, I shit you not, look this up, Mickey Mouse, Superman, and one other big one from DC is in the public domain. Now, before everyone gets super excited, and if y'all need any more information, I suggest you go look up Matt Pat's theory video about Winnie the Pooh. He dives more into the whole loophole aspect of public domain and making movies. But to sum it up, we can use the origins of Winnie the Pooh or Superman or anything like that. We can use that because those original creations aren't owned by anybody anymore, thus being in the public domain. So we can take Pooh and Christopher Robin's The 100 Acre Woods, all that shit. We just can't say or spell Winnie the Pooh the way Disney does. We can't have Winnie the Pooh in the red t-shirt. We can't have Winnie the Pooh saying his famous lines, which is why this movie is the way it is. And it'll be like the same thing with the Superman. You know, you can have a man who can fly. I think it wasn't flying, because flying was later, but it was like heat visions, jumping over buildings, and stopping bullets. Something like that. But, you can keep that origin. You just can't have a big S and call him Superman. Like, you can, my running joke was, all right, fine, I'm going to take the origin of Superman. I'm going to make that S into a K, and I'm going to call him Krypton Man. There we go, Krypton Man. And his colors will be inverted, his suit will be red, and his cape will be blue. Krypton Man. But that's how the public domain would work, as long as I'm not calling him Superman, or as long as I'm not... Right. But, they don't own the origins of, Superman. Like I said, they don't own the origins of Winnie the Pooh either. We owned the book. Now, this actually brings a good thing that a lot of people have been, a good question a lot of people have been asking when watching this movie. Where the fuck is Tigger? A lot of people have been asking where the fuck is Tigger. If, you know, Winnie the Pooh and Rabbit and all of them are in the public domain, why ain't Tigger? He'll be there next year. He's the smaller character I made mention about. He actually did not debut in the original Winnie the Pooh book. It wasn't until 6 years later he made his first debut. So that is why he's not even mentioned at all in this movie. He's not even brought up as a passing moment, a passing fancy, just he's forgotten about. Which, again, if they're taking from the original book, the original source material, there was no Tigger. So that explains why there's no Tigger. That explains why Pooh looks the way he does. And that also explains why the writing is bad. They literally just had a bunch of check boxes of generic horror movie stuff, checked it off, made a movie, didn't push the limits, and that's my problem with this movie. If you're going to go this far out with such a crazy idea, you know, Winnie the Pooh is a sentient creature, him and his friends are basically psychopaths, and they're killing anything that comes to the 100-acre woods. There was so much more you could do with this. Like, there was literally so much more, but they made them generic, boring, and in some aspect made me question whether or not they really want me to believe that they're sentient beings are just a bunch of dudes in masks. Like, there was literally several points where it just seemed like dudes in masks. It didn't seem like Winnie the Pooh. I'm not saying like the Disney version. I mean, it just didn't seem like an imaginary friend, period. It seemed more just like a, you know, dude wearing masks just pissed the fuck off. The only, I think, two supernatural things I saw were, for some fucked up reason, I don't know why they never elaborated any more on this, but Pooh can control bees for 2 scenes. One of them was just random, you know, him just stalking the girls in the house. You know, he just got the bees swarming him. And another one is when he's fighting the group of rednecks, and he, like, kills one guy with a swarm of bees. But, go on. Ah, yes. It does. Yeah, I don't know exactly where they were going at with the look, but I do agree. Piglet didn't look like Piglet. It didn't even look pink, by the way. Nope, it didn't even look pink. Didn't even look pink. Looked like a boar. I was looking at that. I think it was mainly during like the end climax where that woman and Piglet are like around the fire. Just she's talking that big game. Just I'm gonna kick your ass, Piglet. I was looking like that doesn't even look like Piglet, but okay. But yeah, but because of this whole, you know, public domain and the loophole thing, this is how they're able to get away with this. And I just feel like, honestly, they just didn't push it. There were so many aspects, and they really could have just like took this stupid idea like Cocaine Bear. I love Cocaine Bear. That is a stupid fucking premise. Granted, it really happened in real life, but it's still a stupid fucking premise. They knew. That movie is great, man. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend that movie. Definitely go check. Definitely go check that out. I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link in the description down below. But the difference is Cocaine Bear, it was a stupid premise, and they knew it was stupid, and they didn't take the movie that serious. And you saw that, especially when the bear attacked and shit. It wasn't that serious. Now, let's go to Winnie the Pooh over here. Unfortunately, they took themselves a little too serious. Like, they were really trying to make a legitimate horror slasher movie. Like, you could have put Michael Myers in there. Yeah, you could have put Michael Myers in there, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. That's the sad part. That is really the sad part. But I do give credibility because it is a unique ish not anymore, because apparently the person directing this is now making 2 more, not just Winnie the Pooh movies, by the way. Apparently he's making a franchise out of this Winnie the Pooh movie. He is also making two other public domain movies that are coming out within the next like year or two, which is something about Bambi, and then another one that was like, I think it was Pinocchio or something, but it's supposed to be like the same fucking thing like he did with Winnie the Pooh. He's going ham with this, and I'm just like, homie, if you, again, man, I appreciate the effort, I really do. But push the limits, man. And I feel like, especially with the kills in these movies, if given the proper budget and he actually pushed the limits, we could have had a fabulous movie. But because he didn't push it, we didn't have the budget, and the writing was shit, it's a shitty fucking movie. But let's thank the people who are involved in this movie, because unfortunately, I would not be calling them by their character's name. I'm going to be honest, I watched this entire movie and couldn't tell you a single one of their names. Like, at all. Even though they said their names, I think, a handful of times. But none of the girls stick out. Like, none of them have individual personalities. None of them just... They literally, you can interswap the girls back and forth. They all act the same. They all sound the same. The only thing is one generic factor about them. And that's literally redhead, blonde, brunette, lesbian couple. I'm being dead serious. And I hate to use that, the term lesbian couple just to identify, a gay couple like that. But that's literally their only defining factor. That's literally, like, if you think about it, even, I think it's, near the middle-ish of the movie, one of the girls, like the lesbian girls, she gets killed. So her partner literally just has a moment with Piglet just to get revenge on her girlfriend's death, just to turn around and get killed within that same second. So like I said, that's literally their defining characteristics. We got the lesbian couple, the blonde's the slut, the redhead is literally titty fodder, and then we got the main character who's just the main girl. Yeah, she's literally the main final girl. I call her titty girl, because that's literally all she did. And we'll get there when we get there. But also, a little thing I noticed as well, they like to use a lot of people named Natasha in this movie. There's literally a Natasha Thompson who played Laura, and then Natasha Mills who played Jessica. Yeah, there are two women named Natasha who worked on this movie. Yeah. No, I'm being dead. I have the casting list right here. We have Maria Taylor who plays Maria. Daniel Rowland, who plays Zoe, Paula Coles, who played Mary Kelly, who played Tina, Danielle Scott, who played, I'm pretty sure, her name's Charlotte or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Christopher's fiance from the beginning of the movie. Craig David, who plays the infamous Pooh Bear. Chris Cordell, who plays Piglet, Richard Myers, who plays Logan, Simon Ellis plays John, and Mark Holder plays Daryl. And again, I've looked at the filmography. A lot of these guys, they either have no credits or one or two credits, and I have to say, this one actually made me laugh. So I never watched this movie that I'm about to discuss real quick. I never watched it, but I watched Mr. GG on YouTube, fantastic YouTuber. I loved him. He does a lot of, he did, I don't know if he really does anymore, but he did a lot of TCAP. And for those who don't know what TCAP is, that is How to Catch a Predator. He did a lot of videos talking about Chris Hansen and all that. But he slowly has been devolving into, I've been watching stupid-ass movies. One of the stupid-ass movies he watched is called The Killer Christmas Tree. The actor who plays Christopher in this movie was in that movie. And they're both equally as stupid and silly and not that fun and very boring. And let me tell you, The Killer Christmas Tree movie, again, I never watched it, but from what Mr. Gigi told me, it's stupid. And the tree is sentient. The tree is alive and moving and it has feelings and it talks. Seriously, look it up. I think it's called like the Killer Christmas Tree or a Christmas Tree Killer or something like that. Stupid as fuck though. Stupid as fuck. But these actors are not bad. ish. We're gonna say ish. So no one feels bad about this movie. We're just gonna say it's bad-ish. You know, to make everyone feel better, because again, they worked hard in this movie. Yeah. It's stupid fucking movie. But you know, they're fine actors. They don't act their asses off or anything like that, but they don't give a dull performance either. You know, again, unfortunately, all the girls all seem to act the same except for that one trait. Winnie, you know, really doesn't say anything. There is a bit of a moment with Pooh there, though, that we have, I think, somewhere in the middle of the movie where Christopher's trying to talk to him, like, Pooh, this isn't you. And Pooh looks in the mirror and is trying to decide whether or not he's human or not. Yeah, no, we don't do anything with that. But we do, you know, have that moment of he could be feeling something more than just anger that we never delve any more into. But another thing before we dive into the movie that I would like to state out is not only do we have bad writing, but this thing that really irks me about this. The casting was a little off. The cinematography, like I said, the cinematography was pretty decent in some shots. There was a couple of scenes I really liked. Mainly was like when they went to the gas station. That scene, you know, with the lights coming in through the trees and shit, we get to see how dilapidated the gas station is. That was a really nice scene. The problem with that shit is it's the most generic horror like shots you could get. Like literally type in generic horror movies. These scenes are the exact same shots you would get in a generic number-by-number horror movie. And that's the thing that kind of ticks me off about that, is that the guy who does the cinematography is great. You're just in a bad fucking movie, man. But besides that, we also got the kills of this movie. I was actually somewhat impressed with the kills at first. And I don't mean, you know, like I was like, oh my god, the first kill's great, second kill. No. It's when the kills get started, I'm like, yeah, this looks great, this looks fucking good. And then we got the bad 2002 CGI blood. That is when I'm like, you're ruining all that work, all that, the practical effects you just did, all that, like the fucking eyeball and shit, yeah, all gone. Because I'm too busy distracted by the fucking bad CGI blood. It's just horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It is horrible. And I don't get... I just don't get it. Like, it... Like, maybe it's just because they wanted some blood effects and they couldn't afford actual, like, fake blood or something. But if you don't have the money or the budget, don't do CGI blood. It just ruins the creativity and all the hard work you just did. Just because you're trying to add, like, a cool factor. I hate to say it, look at some of the more modern movies like Halloween or even Scream 5. There was a couple of kills that are a little thrown off, especially in Scream 5, because of the fact that it's rather obvious CGI blood. Like, it's rather obvious and it throws you out the scene and shit. But we'll describe more into that when we get there. Let's just dive straight into this fuck shit so y'all can understand what I mean by terrible writing, bad, like... Let me put it this way, guys. There's bad writing and then there's stupid writing. This is stupidly bad. Okay? Like, stupidly bad. Because this, both combined, because of the fact that they say stupid things very badly. But let's start with the opening of the movie. Of course, this opening... Yeah, I like this. I'm not gonna lie. They had me going in the first half of this movie with the opening because they have the drawings from the Winnie the Pooh book, and it's basically it's kind of a summary of Christopher Robin and how he met everybody. And something I noticed in this retelling of, of how Chris found Pooh and all them. They said it was he found these mutilated creatures, the crossbreeds. He called them crossbreeds. So I think that, in some aspect kind of steps away from, like, I guess the Disney format where Disney's like, oh, they're imaginary friends, it's all great. No, they're straight up saying, no, these things shouldn't be here. They're sentient beings that have feelings and they're hungry. Kind of more like animals in some aspects. You think about it, like, it's not quadrupeds, but the ones that can stand on two legs, like Demogorgon and shit. But after we get the whole oh, you know, Christopher found them. They were friends. Chris used to sneak into the kitchen and bring them food and shit. Well, Christopher Robin eventually had to grow up. And Christopher Robin eventually went to college to be a doctor. And because Christopher Robbins went to college to be a doctor and left Pooh and them alone, apparently these motherfuckers do not know how to hunt or do anything. I don't know how they lived before they met Christopher Robbins, but apparently they don't know how to function without this man. Because as soon as he left, the first harsh winter, boom, Eeyore dead right off the bat. They killed him. They said it in the story. Just, they sacrificed him so they could eat. And then they swore themselves to silence because they were so angry at humanity and at Christopher Robbins, you know. Sure, Pooh. Blame everybody else for your fuck up, all right? Like, I'm gonna state that it was their choice to be cannibals, all right? Like, 100% it was their choice. Do not blame Christopher Robbins, all right? Like, you can't be mad at this man. Like, y'all survived before him. Y'all only had him for a few years. I'm sure y'all can figure out how to hunt again. Y'all are fucking sentient beings to figure this shit out. But no. We're gonna blame everybody, get mad, and eat our buddy Eeyore and say it's the world's fault. But that explains, though, where Eeyore went, why he's not in the story, and why Piglet and Pooh do not talk. But something, I think even you brought this up, AJ, and I even pointed this out. They never explain what the fuck happened to Owl or Rabbit. They're just... Eric asked that question. The small little baby kangaroo. Yeah. Maybe that they weren't even mentioned at all in the opening of the story. To be honest, they weren't even mentioned. Like, at least Rabbit and Owl got like a little nod or something. Kangaroo just like no. It could be maybe they're not in the public domain either. Like Tigger, that could be one of the reasons. But right. But it's just one of those. Yeah, it's just one of those things we won't even know. Yeah. Good. And again, there's like no way we can actually know because they didn't dive that far into this information. But yeah, I do find it a little weird that they never explain. Like, was there another harsh winter? How many harsh winters were there? How harsh the winters in the 100 Acre Woods? I'm starting to get concerned for the 100 Acre Woods. Okay. Like, I don't remember them being that harsh in the book. Like, I remember, you know, cute soft snow, you know, them doing snowmans and, you know, little ball fights and shit, but I don't remember them having to scavenge and fight each other to survive. But that's just me. But, you know, after that, and everybody went crazy in the 80s, or, you know, we cut to Christopher Robbins and his fiancée driving to the 100 Acre Woods because no, it's not Marie. Marie's the main character. She's the main girl. I think her name is Charlene. I think that was her name, Charlene. I don't think he ever says her name except when he's screaming. Except when he's screaming near the ending of the opening. But Chris and his beautiful fiancee, wife, whatever the hell she's supposed to be, because he calls her his wife at one point, but he also says that they're engaged, so I don't know. But they go, and she's just playing along because she's convinced that they're not real. They're imaginary, like everybody else probably has. You know, they're imaginary, they're not real. But Chris is like, let me show you my friends. I proved that you're real. And of course, we actually have, as fucked up as it sounds, a good moment here. I'm actually surprised. I enjoyed this one scene of them walking to the 100 Acre Woods. I thought there was some good chemistry between them. It felt like a couple. You know, it was cute. She's just like, hey, I'm here to support you, even though I don't believe you. And I think even he makes a mention of that, going, you don't even believe me, so why are you here? We're to support you. It's just bad writing because she says like the same line of I'm here to support you, I think 3 or 4 times within the span of like 2 minutes. Like, I'm not even joking. But once I want to say he kind of gives a bit of a recap of, oh yeah, I left him alone, went to college. You know, we're just repeating what they said in the intro. And they finally get to the treehouse, though, where Pooh and all of them hang out. And he's, of course, like, oh, it's bigger than I remember it. You know, it's great to be back. Let's go. And he walks in. And right off the bat, he's just like, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. And I want to know, why? Just why? Would you know, walk into this place, right? You see pots and jars full of blood. There's blood on one of these jars. Why would you gently put your hand in one of the jars and just, and I shit you not, just go, Pooh Bear, what happened here? Like, that would not be my reaction at all. Like, if I walked in, I saw a bunch of blood, I'll be like, oh, fuck, Pooh done lost his mind, baby. We gotta go. Like, I'm not sticking around investigating. But Christopher, no, he's just like, Pooh Bear, what's going on? You know, just, it's fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid, man. It's really fucking stupid. But, you know, once he sees all that bullshit, he starts walking around and he starts trying to figure some shit out. And what was it? They hear like a weird noise or something. They go to investigate, you know, like stupid people.
White people shit.
Yeah, that's white people shit right there. That's literally stupid white people shit right there. Granted, though, her emotions are very confusing because at first she's all like, yeah, let's go investigate. Let's figure this shit out. And then as soon as they get there, she's all, just all of a sudden like, this seems dangerous. We gotta go. It's like, you know, you could have been more forthcoming about this information before we got to this point, you know, but like as we're all walking up, you know, hey Chris, you know, it's starting to get late. I see this rain. Chris, you know, shit like that. Nope, we're gonna keep on going.
Nope, let's take shelter.
Yeah, let's take fucking shelter. This part that didn't make any sense to me. So they go inside to investigate the room and whatnot, and of course they hear Pooh coming up. So instead of, you know, confronting Pooh, hey Pooh, let's talk, let's figure this out, they decide to hide. No big deal, we've all been there. Pooh walks in, they're hiding, Pooh gets on the bed and just passes the fuck out, right? Now you would think logically, after like 5 minutes of sitting there in the crouch position, just waiting to go, just waiting to move and do whatever. You think after 5, maybe 8 minutes of just the man snoring, you'd be like, all right, let's go. Not these idiots. No, they wait till nightfall, right? They wait till fucking nightfall. It's literally daytime when they get there. Boom, we cut to night. They're now deciding to leave. And as they're getting up, of course, Pooh's still passed out. So they run outside, and then this is actually where I wanted to punch Christopher Robin in the face. I even asked Eric, I said, baby, what would you do in this situation? And Eric was just like, I will beat the shit out of him until he lets you go. But they get to the car, they're about to go start up, and Piglet comes out of nowhere with a chain, right? Wraps it around the girlfriend's neck and starts choking her out against the hood of the vehicle. Now, Chris over here sees his woman in trouble. Guys, let me
stands there crying.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When your girl's in trouble, actually anybody, if your partner is in trouble, don't just stand there going, Piglet, why would you just stop? No, Piglet, please stop, we were friends. Come on, Piglet. No, punch him. I don't give a shit if he looks like, if he's 6'2", 300 pounds. If that is your person you care more about in this entire existence, you punch that motherfucker in the face.
If that was Catherine, then yeah, I would go bull idle to try and protect her.
Right?
I don't. You don't know who Catherine is, do you?
No, I don't. But I get your sentiments about it.
That's actually my girlfriend. So.
Oh, okay. But you get what I'm saying though. That you see, like your girl was in trouble, and you would straight try to beat the shit out of him on that. No, not Chris. Just stands there. Why, Piglet? Why? Don't do this. Like, you dumbass. So, of course, you know, Piglet breaks her net, which, by the way, I love. Like, I'm gonna sound like fucked up as shit, but I do love a good neck snapping sound. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking clean. Just that. As he like.
Let's like skip back just a little bit before like all of that. Um, she also sees a sign saying Eeyore R.I.P.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, while they're walking around, looking at the bloody.
So if she kind of seen it, why did Kristoff not seen it, or why did she not warn him?
Right. Why didn't Chris say anything about that? Like, he didn't make any mention of fucking Eeyore's grave. Like, that would have been something I would have noticed. Just been like, oh my god, Eeyore's dead? The hell?
In red.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I forgot to make mention of that. But yeah, at one point when they're looking around the bloody jars and shit, there's like Eeyore's grave. Granted, though, ain't that cool of a grave. I'm sorry, it's like a piece of cardboard with "Rest in Peace, Eeyore" written on it. Like, we could at least gave this man like some nice, like a decent grave or something. No, he just cardboard. But yeah, something else that was interesting about that was that there's all this honey just laying around, not being eaten. And it's the only jars that look like honey. Later on, we see Pooh Bear eating honey, and I shit you not, it does not look like honey. But we'll get there when we get there. But back to where we were. So after Christopher's girl gets killed, and very nice neck snap, you know, Chris runs off, and he gets stuck in this like little tunnel area where the arches are. And, you know, of course, we got this, again, one of those nice shots, nice generic shots, but it's a nice shot. Christopher leaning up against the wall, and to our left, we see the figment, not the figment, but the stance of Pooh Bear standing there with lightning shining in the background, you know, it's situating his silhouette, making him look big and scary. And he sees that, he's like, oh my god, Pooh, something's wrong with Piglet. And then Pooh starts walking towards Chris. Pooh, what's up? What's going on, man? Pooh just keeps going, doesn't say shit. So Chris is like, fuck this shit. So he turns around, there's Piglet. Then we got one of the longest, I'm talking about, this scene took forever. Like, I'm sorry that, yeah, I agree, it does not look like Piglet. It does not look like Piglet 100%. But they slowly walk to Chris. I'm talking about slowly. Like, you could have got up, went to the bathroom, grabbed a drink of water, came back, they still would have been coming at Chris. But finally, they reach this motherfucker as he's literally saying the same two lines, by the way. Please, Pooh, Piglet, no, remember when we were kids and when we had fun? We used to be friends. You'll hear Chris say that a lot, by the way. We used to be friends.
To them, it means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. You know, I used to have a brain cell, and then I watched this movie, and then I lost it. So.
The loss of brain cells.
Right? I mean, that's how I felt watching this movie. I felt like my last brain cell was just like, bye, bitch. But after that, of course, we get like this nice little cartoon cutaway of we're back with the drawings from the intro of the movie, and they're dragging Kristoff away, and then we have the title card. And the only thing interesting about the title card is we get all these radio overtures of mutilated bodies found in the 100 Acre Woods, and that is dangerous, and people need to stay out of it and shit. And then once that's done, this is where we get our intro to our first girl, Maria, who is in a therapy session. Apparently, it's explained later on, but she's dealing with a stalker, I want to say. Isn't that technically what he was? A stalker?
Stalking crisis.
Yeah.
Stalking crisis.
Yeah, basically a crazy guy just started stalking her shit, really fucked her up. So the therapist's just like, well, why don't you go and...
I think he was an old guy, actually, wasn't he? Does it just...
Yeah. Yeah, it shows you what he looks like. It's kind of creepy, because he just walks into a room at one point.
So, I think he... If I remember correctly, because you girls, well, some of them actually, you know, like wear that little thing, like the strap the t-shirts, you know, pajamas.
Right.
Yeah, actually, slowly. I actually remember that. Like, leave the poor girl alone.
Yeah, that one was just fucking creepy. Like, I'm not gonna lie,
Yes.
just him just slowly like, nah, that made me want to punch him through that television right then and there. I was like, I can't punch my monitor. They can't be doing that. But she, you know, she's dealing with that shenanigans, and you think this would, I'm gonna be honest, you would think this entire thing would be a big deal, especially, you know, throughout the movie, be like this big ass character arc where she overcomes her fear and all this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna straight up tell you guys, none of it fucking matters. Besides, I forgot to mention this earlier, but it's rather obvious. Y'all know me at this point. We're 24 episodes into my podcast, but I should say it now. Spoilers alert for this entire fucking movie. Everybody dies at the end of this movie.
Except from one.
Except for one, and it's not even the girls. So I'm gonna be honest, this entire scene pisses me off because it is fucking pointless.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that not because, again, if this was character development, if this actually came around to a full circle or something, that would be great. But it's literally in this movie just to explain why she has a gun. That's it. And the gun's actually fucking useless. And it makes you want to punch this woman, but we'll get there when we get there. But, yeah, spoiler alerts, guys. Nobody fucking lives. Alright, see, I'll tell you who fucking lives. Christopher. Yeah, and he ain't even in that movie all that much. He literally shows up for, like, what, 2 more scenes and that's it?
Yeah.
No, 3 more scenes. I'm sorry. I forgot about that one
4,
scene.
actually, wasn't it?
Maybe 4. I don't know. We'll figure out when we get there. But the point is, Chris only shows up for another handful of scenes in this movie. But
don't see him at all.
Right? It's like I think
you'll see like why Christopher, survives.
Yeah, let's get him ready for the sequel. But this is basically also sets up why they're going to this fucking cabin in the middle of the 100-acre woods. The therapist makes a point. Why don't you step away from the stress of everything? Back away. Just take you and your friends and just disconnect from reality and from the world. Because, again, she's dealing with a fucking stalker. So she's, like, jumping at every shadow. Every noise is making her flinch because it's just taking her back to that time. So she goes with her and her friends. And I'm going to be honest, this scene, I have several problems with this scene. First of all, let's point out the rather obvious thing. It's the thing I told you on the phone. The scene that made me just fucking lose it. So, I need y'all to be with me on this one, okay? They are driving. I can't remember the make and model of this car, but they're driving literally a 2-door car. Now, this particular type of 2-door car, I've seen it before. There's no trunk space, okay? And this car can only fit up to 4 people comfortably without any kind of luggage or bags or anything. It's literally what I like to call a toy car. Okay, that's what it looks like, a fucking toy that you would wind up and then drive. But there are 5 women in this vehicle. 5 women, all with rolling suitcases and big duffel bags. They want me to believe 5 women, all with rolling suitcases and big duffel bags, fit inside this little vehicle. They really want me to believe this. Like, they really want me to believe. I'm like, this is physical. I had to bring Eric, who's a car guy, to look at this scene. I'm like, baby, can 5 people fit in there? Well, maybe. What about with luggage? Oh, hell no.
Unless they're clowns.
Yeah, it's a fucking clown.
There's a bunch of clowns coming out once.
There's no fucking way 5 women will all fit in that one car with all that luggage. So let's get past that part. So they pull up at the gas station, and one of them gets out, and it's just her, by the way. Everybody else is in the vehicle, right? Outside, in the vehicle, she's the only one that went inside. So she goes in, she's walking around, of course, there's nobody around. And for some reason, I don't know who she's talking to because nobody else is around, but she turns around and goes, guys, I don't think anybody's in here. Bitch, who are you talking to? Who? Because your friends are in the car with the windows rolled up. There's nobody else in this. Like, are you talking to us at the audience? You trying to have a fourth wall break? Because it makes no sense of who the fuck she's talking to. And then, of course, we get the gas station attendant, who I originally thought was going to be the Harbinger of Doom character. Which, surprise, surprise, they didn't do that. The one box they didn't check mark was the Harbinger of Doom. And I'm like, you had one job. You had one fucking job, and you didn't even do the Harbinger of Doom. But, after that, he shows up, and he's just like, oh yeah, these gas pumps don't work. About 2 miles down the road, there's one. No big deal. You have a lovely day. And she is just giggling and won't, break eye contact with him for some reason, and then runs into a couple. Now, again, I wouldn't have a problem with this couple, but I'm in questioning where the fuck did this couple come from, for one. And second of all, what's this couple doing here? Because this couple actually looks like a rich couple. Because the girl, goes to walk off, she runs to the woman of the couple and drops her shit, and she's picking it up. She's got some nice shit, like a nice cell phone, a nice credit card. She's got this nice, white jacket on and shit. No reason they're there. Just to have that one scene, and then she walks off. I'm just like, why? Why? Was this padding? Actually, no, I'm with that. It was probably padding, because this movie's only an hour and a half long. It's only an hour and a half. But there are so many drawn-out scenes that I swear to God, if you actually cut some of these drawn-out scenes and very pointless scenes out, such as the little interaction at the gas station, the movie would probably be about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm being dead serious. That's how much bullshit padding is in this movie. So after, we see this, they get to the cabin, all the girls are there, that vehicle, the red one that drove them all there, suddenly disappears. Don't ask me why. But they get there, and of course, this is where we get a bit of an interaction, an introduction to these characters. But it doesn't really matter, because like I said, you can interchange these guys back and forth as many times as you fucking want. And they're nothing different. They're all the same, except for one trait. And of course, like I said, we have Glasses Girl, main character, slutty blonde, and lesbian couple, right? Glasses Girl, of course, is trying to keep the happy feng shui going on. So she's like, all right, ladies, give us up the cell phones. Come on. So, they got to give up the cell phones because, be a shame if in a horror movie in a cabin that they have their cell phones. Unfortunately, I now can believe the whole no service up in cabins in the mountain, because I've been to cabins in the mountain, and I think there's been about 2. Out of the few years we've been to Tennessee, there's 2 cabins I can remember straight off the bat that had no cell service at all. The only way we were able to get anything done was because they had Wi-Fi. Well, one place had Wi-Fi. The other place, not so much. The other place had shoddy service, just shoddiness. But after we have a little interaction with the women and shit, we cut to the redhead. And she's driving by herself for some reason. I don't know. They could have possibly fit 6 people in that car. They fit 5. Why not fit 6? But she's the oddball out. She's driving. And this scene also pissed me off. Let me explain from point A to point B why this scene pissed me off. So, of course, she's got to be the first victim of the pool. So we got to make her stupid, right? I mean stupid. I mean not just stupid. I mean stupid. Stupid. But, she, of course,
Zero brain cells.
Zero brain cells. Zero fucking brain cells. Because she says, she's on the phone, right? And, of course, she's trying to call her friends. Like, guys, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at. Can y'all please, tell me? I'm supposed to be the 100-acre woods, right? And she stops in the middle of the road, right? She gets out of her vehicle. There's a sign in blood that says 100-acre woods. I don't know where I am, guys. Call me. Hangs up phone. Proceeds to walk into the woods. What smart person goes, guys, I'm fucking lost, and then walks into woods? I know I don't do that.
Yeah.
If I'm lost, I ain't going anywhere until I can figure out exactly where I'm at. I'm not leaving my vehicle. Second,
plus there's always been one road rule, and that is you cannot be on your phone whilst driving.
Right, but that bitch was on her phone while driving. This is why she got lost. But again, we gotta make her stupid. So she stupidly starts walking into these woods, right? And she's on her phone, and of course, she hears a noise. She turns around, there's fucking Pooh Bear standing there, and she goes to run. Of course, the bitch trips over nothing. I don't know why, but as soon as she went to go, she literally tripped over air, fell, dropped her phone, started running. Now, this shit is what really pissed me off. I get running shots. I get tracking shots. I get shots, and I understand the shaky cam shots where the characters are running and you as the cameraman are running with the camera. It's supposed to add an intense factor, especially in like the Blair Witch or one of my favorite movies like this, Silent House, where the whole movie is literally supposed to be shot in one take, and there's some shaky cam footage in there because that's how the movie's supposed to be. You're supposed to feel like you're there. With this shaky cam, it just made me nauseous. Like, I shit you not, they're literally following the girl and Pooh Bear running, right? And Pooh Bear, of course, he's got these heavy fucking footsteps, and she's, tripping over nothing. But the entire time, the cameraman is clearly having a seizure. I shit you not, like say this to the camera, right? It's like, go. Like seriously, it's just like all over the fucking place. You're like, bro, catch your breath, man. But they get to this garage after this terrible shaky cam chase, and then we continue pissing me off. So she hides in there, and of course Pooh's doing the typical killer thing where he's like appearing there and then appearing over here and then appearing behind her and all this shit, right? This is the next scene, the moment that pissed me off in this scene. This is literally what I call pointless nudity, and why I call her titty girl, because it's the only reason why she was probably in this fucking movie. Pooh Bear stands up behind her, right? Grabs her by the back of the head, and just with one hand, grabs her chest and rips her shirt off for no fucking reason. No reason whatsoever. There's no like sexual moments. There's no like innuendos. There's literally no fucking reason for this woman to have her tits out.
Not cocaine there.
Yeah, like again, there's just no reason for this. But yet, Pooh Bear takes her tits out, slams her head into a wood chipper, and then puts her into the wood chipper after she's dead. So of course you missed a very fun kill you could have done right there. Bad CGI blood goes shooting out of the fucking wood chipper, which that just killed my whole mood aspect right there. But the reason why the pointless nudity bothers me, and it's not the fact that it's nudity. I could give two shits less about nudity. We all got private body parts. We all got tits. We all got an ass. We all got our things down there. That's just normal. I'm also a fan of having nudity, especially in horror movies, because in a horror movie you're supposed to be vulnerable, and you're no more vulnerable than when you're naked. I like class though with my nudity. Like, I don't like pointless, like it's like with my gore. I don't like pointless gratuitous gore for no fucking reason. Like, if the whole movie's like an H.P. Lovecraft and the whole thing's gonna be gory, fuck it, roll with it. Let me stew in it. That's great. But when you start just, well, we're just gonna add this in just because we can, gross, that's when you start losing me as a horror fan. And the same thing with the nudity, like Freddy vs. Jason.
No apparent reason.
Yeah, but no, actually with Freddy vs. Jason, there is a apparent reason to have a nudity scene. Basically, in the opening of the movie, y'all remember, the girl, what's her fucking name? Shit, I can't think of her name. Gibbs and her boyfriend are having sex in the bedroom, and of course once they get done, she goes to cuddle him, and he's just like, don't do that, I don't like that girly shit. Fine, I'll go do it in the shower then. She goes off to go take a shower scene, and of course we get a above shot of her tits and like a little shower scene of her tits. That's fine to me because that's necessary fucking nudity, because of the fact that we had to get her out the room to go take a shower. The reason why she even heard Trey, or was it Clay? I can't remember what the boyfriend's name was. I think it was Trey. But remember, Jason walked up into the room, fucking stabbed Trey like a gazillion times in the back, and then folded him up like a fucking burrito. we need to understand why she didn't hear him. Well, of course, she's in the shower. It's thunderbolts and lightning outside. Of course, she's not going to hear him. So, of course, when she comes out and sees the blood, and she's got the towel on, this then comes into a funnier scene when that police officer rolls up. I love it. Is Trey?
Trey, yeah.
It's been a minute
since... T-R-E-Y.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but I love that next scene because she comes running out wearing the towel. And of course, all the girls are, help, please help. And the officer rolls up and he's like, hey, y'all need some assistance with something? What the fuck do you think? She's throwing her hands up, covered in blood. I fucking love that shit. I gotta review that movie. I gotta talk about that. I have a soft spot for Freddy vs. Jason. I really do.
Oh. But I mean, I've actually, watched Freddy vs. Jason myself, actually. I gotta admit, it actually is a banger.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. That's just
it
a fun
is a banger.
Movie. That's a fun movie. But I might have a month dedicated to Friday the 13th and to Nightmare on Elm Street or something like that. I'll figure it out when the time comes. But I digress from the original conversation. The point is, pointless nudity kills my mood when it comes to a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are like, let the titties flap. Who cares? I mean, that's fine, man. You like your horror movies, I like mine. And I like my nudity with a little bit of class, you know? It's like, as stupid as it sounds, you probably never seen this movie, AJ. Like, I swear, you probably never seen this movie. And the movie is called 365 Days.
No.
No. I figured as much. It's basically a quintessential chick flick. It's literally like a foreign version of 50 Shades of Grey. The whole premise, the whole premise is literally this mafia dude kidnaps a woman, and because he's so in love with her. Apparently, when he got shot, she was the only thing on his brain. So he spent like 3 years trying to find her, finds her, kidnaps her, and basically forces her to love him. Fucking crazy. Like, apparently there's like 4 or 5 of these books. I only watched the first movie though, but there's a lot of sex in this movie, right? Cause it's literally like a dirty
Sex in the City.
It's kind of like that, except some kiki ass shit. But because there was an interesting story to it, it was a fun movie. Now let's cut to the second movie. Now we're still continuing on with a decent story, but now we done up the amount of nudity in this movie. Now we're just having pointless sex scene after pointless sex scene. Granted, there was some pointless, stupid sex scenes in the first movie. Like, I shit you not, in the first movie, there's a sex scene on this boat. And the boat sex scene lasts, I shit you not, a solid at least 3.5 minutes. And how do I know this? During the start of the sex scene, I was like, I gotta go take a piss. I'm gonna grab some chips. So I left the movie running. I didn't think it was no big deal. It's a sex scene. Everybody has sex. I'm not missing much. Go off, do my bathroom, do my business, get done, come back, grab my chips, grab my coat, come back, sit down, get comfy, look at my phone, text Eric back, put the phone down, look up, they're still having sex. And they're still on the boat, but they're not in the bedroom anymore. They're like on the top end of the boat or something. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, the pointless sex scenes. But it still had a bit of a story. And then the second one's still the same thing, but they added more. Now we got the third one that just came out, and it's nothing but pure fucking sex and music videos. And there might have been a story in there, but I don't know. I turned it off. I was just like, this is Pornhub shit right here. This ain't even a movie. But Eric liked to make the joke though, baby, you're basically watching a porno with scenarios. I'm like, yeah, the second and third movie, but the first movie was not. The first movie actually had a story to it. That is why I like the first one. I don't care for the second one, which is disappointing because I wanted to hear more about that evil twin. I shit you not. You find out later on that the mafia guy who kidnapped the main girl, he has an evil twin. Identical evil twin, by the way.
What?
Yeah, he has an identical evil twin. I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So that's why I wanted to watch the second one. I was like, how crazy is this shit gonna get? And it disappointed me. So that's what I mean by the pointless sex scenes, pointless nudity. Just, it's not necessary. If it's not necessary, don't add it, because now you just trash your movie. You're just trashing it to me. That's, again, guys, that's me personally. That's not how like, a lot of people feel. But me personally, I just don't like that shit.
Go way over the top. Just way over the top.
Now, I don't mind over the top nudity and shit. Like in the Hostel, Hostel and Hostel Part 2, there's some over the top nudity in that shit. But again, it's all, well, somewhat needed, because it's the premise of the movie. These people are kidnapped in a hostel. They're going to die. They're going to get hurt. And it's like with the, oh shit, what was her name? The poor girl who got killed hanging upside down, and she got, like, her back cut up and shit, and then her throat slit, and the woman was bathing in her blood.
God.
Wait, you never seen Hostel Part 2? Oh, yeah, from the head shake, like, there's just no, no, there's a scene where one of the girls, she gets kidnapped, and she's taken to the hostel, and she is butt naked, hanging upside down in this bathroom, and this other woman shows up, like fucking Elizabeth Bathory over here, fucking derobes. There's all these fucking candles everywhere. A woman gets right underneath her, takes a scythe, a legitimate scythe, starts cutting her back. She's screaming. The woman takes the gag out so she can hear her screams louder. The woman's just bathing in their blood, just like having a grand time, and then just slits her throat and just lets the blood just cover her, and she's like all rubbing up on herself. Both bitches are naked. Both naked women are over the top. But again, that is classy, because it's the type of movie it is. That's the type of nudity I expect coming from Hostel. I don't expect pointless nudity coming from a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And if you were going to do pointless nudity, why was it just this one scene? Why just this one scene? Like, this was literally the only scene where Pooh rips this bitch's top off and calls it a day. Every other thing, he didn't do anything. And there was options. There was opportunities to do shit like that. I mean, hell, the blonde chick in her bathing suit at one point. They could have had her fucking her titties flopping everywhere. Nope. Didn't need that shit. No, just the one chick. But I guess, again, checkbox. Just pointless nudity. Check. But I have ranted on a little too much about the fucking pointless nudity. Anyway, after the fucking pointless nudity, and he throws her into the grinder, and we get the bad CGI blood and shit. We go back to the house, and we see everyone getting comfortable. And this is the only confirmedness we get that the lesbian couple are together. And they walk into this room. Of course, there's like the little flower, heart petals, little candles and shit. And she's like, "Oh my God, did you do this for me?" "Yeah, I did." "Let's not talk about this right now." And she walks off. Yeah. We never know what the hell the argument was about. We don't know what the hell just happened there. They just, tidbit, they're a lesbian couple and they're having a fight or something's going on.
A little bit too soon for that moment. Didn't they say that she spent a little bit too much to actually do that for her?
I think she made a joke or a comment about, "Oh, how long did this take you?" "Oh, not that long." That shit. But I don't think, that was the reason for the fight or anything. Like, this apparently was something before we as the audience showed up for this movie. But while we're doing that, we also have a pointless dancing scene with the slutty blonde in her bathing suit just taking photos in her bedroom. There's no reason, no rhyme, no nothing. She's just in her bathing suit, just doing that shit for no fucking reason.
Yeah, TikTok shit.
I guess. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know she's on TikTok.
I don't know if it was or wasn't, but you know what I mean.
Right.
TikTok. Know that.
Right, she's on social media doing her shit. But then after, that pointless moment, we have a bit of the character development, and I say air quotes around this because none of it matters. We find out that the main character, Maria, she dives more into the whole stalker thing, and like me and AJ were discussing earlier, that she was sexually assaulted by a random neighbor that started following her around and stuff, and he broke into her house.
Old creepy guy.
Yeah. So she bought a gun to, be safe and everything.
Yep.
That's fine. I'll carry on. But yeah, after all, that craziness with Mare going on through her event and what's going on, and like I said, guys, I would feel something for her if any of this actually came back at the end, made a complete roundabout. But it doesn't. It just fucking doesn't. So after that beautiful moment, the girls are all like, here, cheers, you're a strong woman. We stand behind you 100%. They don't go into the whole independent woman spiel or the speeches or anything like that, but it's, hey, we're your friends, we got you, that kind of thing. A kind of nice, friendship moment. We then cut back to the 100-Acre Woods where Chris is being held captive by Pooh Bear. And he is being strung up by the raptors, and fucking Piglet for some reason is powering up the 100-Acre Woods on this electrical scooter or something. I don't know. He starts like pedaling and the fucking lights come on and shit, and this man don't get a break. But, Pooh walks in and Pooh's like, it's not even honey, man. He's fucking eating honey, though. And it looks like lubrication. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It looks like clear lubrication. He's just slathering this shit all over his face, too. So it just looks nasty. It don't even look appetizing. It doesn't even look like honey. But this entire time, Pooh's doing this, and he's fucking with Chris. Chris is trying to talk to the Pooh, and he's like, Pooh, remember when we were friends? Remember that we used to hang out? The same 12 line or the same 2 lines he's been saying since the beginning of the movie. Yeah, he says them a few more times here. Just remember we used to be friends. I love you, Pooh. I've always loved you. I'm sorry I abandoned you. And then Pooh has this nice moment, which again I really wish they would have played more into, but they didn't. Pooh looking at himself in the mirror, and he's remembering young Christopher Robbins and him and Chris hanging out and playing with the little toy boats and sandcastles, shit like that. He then looks into the mirror, and then we have this weird cut to black, which I haven't mentioned this very much, but there's a lot of weird fade to black moments throughout this whole movie. Don't ask me why. That's just their way, I guess, moving to the next scene. But after he comes back from his, I guess, cut the black from the division, we got Pooh Bear just standing there looking at himself in the mirror, and he gets mad, starts fucking Jason Voorhees from the 2009 Friday the 13th movie, just smashing shit, throwing shit around, just getting so angry. He then grabs fucking Eeyore's tail, which I wasn't sure if it was Eeyore's tail at first. I'm assuming it is because of the fact that it's got that Chris ends up with flogging marks all over his back and shit. But it looks like someone's braided piece of hair for when Pooh Bear grabs it. But I think it's supposed to be Eeyore's tail. But he proceeds to beat Chris with it. Of course, pointy end first, so he got flogging marks all over his back. Poor Chris has seen better days. And then Pooh walks off and brings in this skeleton. Now, we saw this skeleton a little earlier just hanging around while Pooh Bear, was, having his little fit and shit. And this skeleton looks like it came from Spirit Halloween. I'm not gonna lie. This skeleton looked like it belonged in Spirit Halloween. That's where he stole it. But it looks like fucking his wife or whatever. So he starts freaking out, starts crying. So, oh my god. And then for some stupid ass reason, I don't get this one either. I don't get why Pooh did this.
Which part are you on?
This is right after the flogging incident with Eeyore's tail, and Pooh is I guess showering him in blood. I didn't get that scene. I honestly didn't get why shower him in blood? Why? What happened?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we get to see the stupid skeleton prop.
Whip moment.
Yeah.
The whip scene.
Yeah, with the questionable Eeyore's tail.
Yeah.
But after all that shit, we then cut to Pooh Bear dragging this crappy Halloween, Spirit Halloween skeleton everywhere. And he's walking through the woods, and he hears music. So he just drops the skeleton, right where he's standing, just drops it, and goes to investigate. And it's the slutty girl, the slutty blonde. She's in the bathtub. She's in the hot tub.
I know who that is. I know who that one is. That one is Laura. Laura is the one who we actually see
Yeah, I wonder
in
why you
the
remember
hot
her
tub.
so well, AJ. Could be the fact that she's in the bikini?
No, because I was because
I'm teasing, man.
I was no, I know, but that I was you know re-looking at
The
I
names.
wanted to watch the trailer because I did not properly see the trailer.
Right.
Literally, I'd seen the part where you know after her death the girls come running in.
Right, right. I have to say that this scene was fucking stupid as well.
Yeah.
And I say this because, again, bad writing for stupid people. She pulls a stupid fucking move. So she's in this hot tub, right? And she's, listening to music. She's having a good time. She's taking 10,000 selfies
Hold
like a
on.
typical woman.
But didn't she take everyone's phone off of them?
Yes, yes.
How the
Glass.
fuck did she get her phone?
There's actually a small scene, like it's literally like a 5-second clip before she walked out. You see slutty blonde look down at the pile of phones and grab her phone. That's why. Like it's like a small like 5-second scene. It's really again one of those pointless. Actually, not even pointless. Just like, why even have this rule? Like why?
Yeah.
But she's taking 10,000 selfies though, and while she's taking it, of course she's like, ew, no, I don't like that one.
One of those. Oh, I want to be so perfect in my
In her little bikini top and shit.
Yeah.
And in one of the photos, of course, she sees Pooh Bear in the background. I mean, like standing there, silhouette out. She even zooms in on him and everything. She gets out of the tub, right? Now, I have to say this. If I was, a slutty bitch in a hot tub, and I was taking 10,000 selfies, and I happened to I would go inside. I would go inside and be like, girls?
That reminds me of the Demogorgon.
Right?
From Stranger Things season 1, with I hate when I forget their names, but it's not Will, it's Jonathan Byers, who was, taking photos of Nancy.
Yeah, and ended up
all of that.
taking a photo of the Demogorgon when he took fucking Barb.
Barb.
Hashtag justice for Barb, everyone. Justice for Barb. I still say that to this day. Justice for Barb.
Justice for Barb.
But
sad moments right there.
Very sad. Like I feel bad for Barb. Got fucked over so bad in that show. But so you get what a normal smart person would do though. Okay, there's somebody in my photos. Let me go inside and tell my friends to lock up. No, not this bitch. Not this bitch.
No.
She just listens.
Tries to sit back down in the hot tub
and scream out, "You're not ruining my vacation, asshole!" Bitch. Bitch.
Yeah.
Just bitch. Fucking sits there. Now I'm gonna point something else that bothers me. It's not particularly this movie. It's just movies in general. So, of course, Pooh Bear comes in with Piglet. We got this whole scene where she fucks with before she got back in the hot tub, she fucked with this light. So the light's fucking blinking, and they're doing that creepy effect where, Pooh slowly gets getting closer every time the light turns on and off. Yeah. We've all seen movies like that. Yeah, one of those scenes. That's not the problem I have. I love scenes like that. Let's go back to the Halloween 2018. That was a fucking fiery ass moment. No, it's just next part.
Hell House. Have you watched Hell House before?
Motherfucker, yes I have all 3 of them. We've had this discussion.
It reminds me of that, the basement part.
Oh, yeah.
With the constant blinks. You cannot properly see, but they literally form something was down there.
Something was down there.
Yeah.
Which that is again, guys. Let me go on a tangent for a second. When it comes to the Hell House series, I do at some point plan on going over that because that was one of my favorite 3 a.m. That was one of my favorite 3 a.m. Found footage horror movies I ever found. Like that was great. Like I have my own stories behind it, but we'll get there when we get there. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, because like I said, I do want to talk about this. They were fun horror movies. But back to this not so fun horror movie. But the reason, the thing that pissed me off though, was Pooh Bear, after the whole, light thing, goes to knock her out with chloroform. Here's my problem with the chloroform thing. That shit don't work. Yeah, fun fact, everybody. The whole knock somebody out with chloroform in under 5 seconds, yeah, that don't work. Yeah, mind blown for anybody who ever thought about kidnapping somebody using chloroform. It don't work like that. If you were to knock somebody out with chloroform, it would take you literally holding the rag, I think at least a solid 7 to 8 minutes. So this whole let's knock them out within 30 seconds, yeah, it does not work. And that shit is just aggravating. It's like, can we not, if you're going to do a knockout thing, since it's been debunked now that you can no longer fucking knock people out with chloroform and shit, why don't you chokehold them a little bit? Maybe knock them out in the back of the head or something. No, we got to still do the chloroform trick that doesn't technically work, so it throws me off the movie. But okay, whatever. So they knock her out. And then, for some fucked up reason, they just take her to the driveway, hog tie her, gag her, and Pooh Bear's in a vehicle. I'm not even joking, he's in a vehicle. Piglet's standing on top of her with his foot on her back, and he gives Pooh Bear a thumbs up.
Chain. If I remember correctly.
Oh, was it the chain?
On the chain.
I remember there's a sledgehammer at one point, but I can't remember who carried it. If it was Pooh or if it was Piglet for most part.
Piglet.
Okay.
Wait, was it Piglet?
I can't really remember because the posters and shit I see, especially like the one I'm using now, as y'all can see, it's got Pooh holding the hammer. But Piglet ends up doing that kill in the swimming pool with the hammer at one point, as you remember. Which we'll get there when we get there. Like I said, I can't remember what he's got. It doesn't really matter what he's holding, but he ends up giving Pooh Bear like a thumbs fucking up. Like, yeah, bro, start the car. And fucking Pooh, of course, starts the car and slowly starts driving forward, and she's screaming for help. Oh God, please don't do this. And the tire slowly, I'm talking about slowly, goes over her head. You can hear every single cracking sound of her skull, her screams. They're not even muffled anymore because the gag came out. And I'm thinking, this is actually a pretty decent kill. You get a little chill down my spine. And then we get the epic tire landing on her head, heads pop. And then it's thrown the CGI blood. The fucking eyeball we saw that popped out of her head, can't even see it because of the bad CGI blood. So, yeah, you done gave me blue balls. Yet again. And that's something that always ticked me off in bad horror movies. Do not blue ball me when it comes to my kills, okay? Like, if I'm watching a fucking slasher movie, like, I don't care, PG-13, R, I don't give a shit. Don't blue balls me when it comes to my kill. I'm watching a slasher movie, not because of the slasher. No, because anybody could be a slasher. You got fucking Victor Crowley from the Hatchet franchise, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. Yeah, they all have their unique individual personality and types of kills, and that's what makes them fun. But think about some of the horror icons we've seen where a lot of them just stab and go, stab and go, stab and just fucking go. Like, they don't even get creative with their kills anymore. So when I get told, oh, we're going to have some fun, inventive kills here, I get super excited. That's why I love the Saw franchise. It ain't because of the whole, oh, I was actually working with John Kramer this entire time. No, I'm the second apprentice. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. I lost interest in the plot line to Saw back in, I think Saw 3 or 4. After that, I was there for the kills, man. I was there for the traps. I was there for the entertainment. Not for the story. Now, that may make me a fucked up individual, but at least I'm speaking the truth, though. I watched most of the Saw movies for the fucking traps. The traps are cool. I like the idea. And as weird as it sounds, I actually stand behind what John Kramer was originally going for. The whole apprentice aspects and all that bullshit, never cared much for. But what John was trying to teach... Whenever I decide to talk about the Saw franchise, I'll get more into why I think John Kramer was a really good horror icon. And why he really set the bar.
Laura was tied up. Laura was tied up on the driveway.
Okay, so it was her. Slutty blonde. Yeah. But, the whole kill, though, completely ruined, just destroyed by the bad CGI blood. But right after that, the girls, for some reason, hear the scream, and I think 2 girls are just sitting out by this pier or something, and 2 other girls are inside. Nobody heard jack shit, by the way. Nobody heard jack shit beforehand. They run in, and then they see the dead body, go, oh my God, why is our front door open? So they go inside this open front door, right? Run in, see their other friends screaming because on the window it says, get out. Now this scene made me want to punch the shit out of this chick. I don't know who said this line, but I want to punch the shit out of her. So they say they found a dead body. You see the words get out written in blood. Hey Jay, let me ask you something. If you saw all that, you saw that dead body, you saw get out written in blood, what would you do? What would be your next words out your mouth?
We need to get out of here now. Laura's dead. We need to get the fuck out of here. Nothing else.
Reasonable. See, I would probably
Fuck locking the doors. Fuck locking the doors. Just get out.
I would probably do the same thing. All right, something's telling us to get the fuck out. Ladies, let's pack our shit up, call the police on our way out. Let's go. No. This one bitch.
He's bitch. Quickly, let's lock the doors. She might be at the front.
Not just that shit.
Lock the back.
Not just that shit. It's literally the first line that someone says that starts that whole conversation off. Just, oh my God, guys, what do we do? It's written in blood, but you gotta fucking do. That's what I mean by bad writing for stupid people. That's the most stupidest line anybody.
To Tina?
No.
Is she related to Tina?
Maybe. I don't know. I said no at first, but I take that back. She might be. But the point is, that's just bad writing for stupid people. Because only a stupid person would look at this in a situation, and that would be their first words out their mouth. Oh my God, guys, what do we do? A sane person.
What do we do? It's right there, right in front of you. All in caps, in red, fucking blood.
Right, you got your friend dead in the front yard.
Fuck out.
But no, she has to, and I swear to God, I wanted to bitch slap whoever the fuck said that. And of course, it started the whole, oh my God, guys, we gotta lock the door. They could be inside the house. Oh my God, all this shit. And
they could be inside the house. Lock the doors.
And then we got this stupid scene. This scene cracked me up. Where you see Pooh Bear trying to look through the windows. It cracks me up because he just, I'm waiting for him, to knock on the window and start waving at them or something. The way he's, leaning into the window because he's all doing that shit. And we're literally cutting to him doing this for no fucking reason. We're having casual conversation. Oh my God, what do we do? We're just cutting to Pooh Bear just. It's no, this is not okay.
And hold on. And didn't Laura also say that, are you the creep or something who's been stalking?
Yeah, there was a whole conversation about the creep and all that shit. And of course, girls with glasses is just we gotta stay strong. We're not gonna let him beat you, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, I have a gun. So they go upstairs. I don't know why everybody splits off here, but for some reason, 2 girls run upstairs, 2 girls run to the pool house, but,
No, they were going to be locking the doors.
Were they?
The exit to the back was in the pool house.
Okay, I didn't quite catch.
Came into play.
Okay, I didn't quite catch why they split off because I was too busy laughing at Pooh going through the windows. Because that's also the scene where we see the bees for that second surround Pooh as he's walking around. It's literally just in that one section, that one scene. Literally makes no sense. Where are the bees at? Why did they appear in one scene and disappear in the next scene? I don't know. But apparently the bees do that. But yeah, like I said, 2 girls run upstairs to go get the gun. 2 girls run to the pool house and
lock the doors.
And why 2 girls are upstairs again, their gun. Pooh comes in through the front door, through one of the doors, but he's downstairs in the foyer, so they're ducking down, hiding behind the banisters. And 2 girls in the pool house hears something coming up, and one of the girls turns and goes, "Baby, you know I love you. So if I say run, you run. I'm not leaving without you." And without missing a fucking beat, fucking Piglet comes out of nowhere, swings the sledgehammer, misses everybody, and of course one girl I guess slips on nothing because bitch is always tripping over nothing. Hits her head, gets knocked out, and this other girl, she falls back. She lands in the pool, right?
Yeah.
So while she's in this pool, Piglet goes after the one knocked down in front of her and it goes to get the sledgehammer. Of course, the other girl's like, "You stay away from my girlfriend." Doesn't even call her girlfriend. She's just like, "Stay away from her." So Piglet, still doing his like whatever, I'm gonna fuck who I want to fuck with. He gets pissed when she calls him a freak. That's his trigger. That's his trigger word. She's all like, "You son of a bitch, fuck you, leave her alone, you fucking freak." What the hell did you call me? Like, seriously,
So the Piglet literally jumps into the pool, which
you
actually get the clear underwater view
booty shots
of the legs. You can see the girl literally, trying to keep herself up by
fucking pointless scene. But before that, there was a pointless moment where Piglet was on the side before he jumped in. He took the chain and he was whacking the water. You remember that bullshit?
I forgot about that. Literally, it's like, yeah, fishy, fishy. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy.
But yeah, he jumps in with the sledgehammer, and there's this entire scene of her slowly backing up in this pool instead of swimming to the edge and climbing out. No, just her slowly backing up, and Piglet just slowly as ever swinging the hammer, missing, and then as soon as the girl wakes up that's laying outside the pool, she looks up. She sees Piglet swing that hammer and basically bash her girlfriend's head in. And I don't know how many times he ends up swinging at her. I don't know how many times. It went on for a minute.
How tall is Piglet?
I don't know. I think they said the actor was maybe 6 foot, 6'1", maybe.
Because literally, you can see the girl literally swimming. It's not even touching the bottom, but you can literally see Piglet literally walking on the bottom.
The man's not even struggling. The man's not even struggling. She over there oh my god. She's over there struggling. He ain't. But after that, we cut to the girls back upstairs, and they see Pooh Bear's left, so they run back down. And they notice, of course, one girl's dead, the other girl's missing, so they look out the window and they see she's being carry the fuck off. So, them being strong, independent women are like, "You know what? Fuck this shit. Let's go after them." So they follow them. And while they are there, I don't get the point of the scene. I really don't. This is one of those, we watched Pooh eat the honey, which looks like lubrication. Yet again, guys, I will say it. This shit does not look like honey. It's not honey. You can say it's honey. That's not honey. That's lubrication. Okay, he's ready to sodomize his mouth with his own finger. All right.
Speaking about it, where did he get all that blood from?
That's a good question. Another good question is, if he's got all that honey, why the fuck did they eat Eeyore?
No.
What happened?
Way before. Eeyore was the first, and they most probably was, got the beast inside. It was addicted to more blood. That's where everything first came from.
Right, but I just don't get it though. You have all this honey, man. Why you just being a douche, man? Why you being a douche? And this is also a very douchey thing Pooh does. So after he gets done eating his honey, right? The girl that he originally kidnapped, she's tied up, sprawled out on this floor, and Pooh walks over to her, leans over, and all that lubrication starts dripping down on her face, and for some fucked up reason, it's never explained. It doesn't make any sense, but in a robotic movement, Pooh just starts smacking her on the face, just over and over again. I'm talking about just like this. I'm not even joking. Flat hand, just fucking robotic as hell, just slaps her. We then literally cut to the next scene, and it's literally the two girls coming up to save her friend after she's been knocked out for being slapped so many times. I didn't get that. I'm just like, why?
But wasn't she actually tied some? Was that like gallows? Was it?
No, it wasn't any kind of gallows or anything like that. She was on some kind of platform, tied spread open. The way I guess they had her tied up was that like it counterweighted somewhere. I don't know. Like it was easy to get around. Like they didn't. It was barely inconvenience. Like seriously, they didn't even struggle all that much to get her free. But they get their friend down. They go to walk away, and they hear a scream. And it's a rather obvious female scream, by the way. But they hear it, and they're suddenly like, "Oh my God, there's somebody else here, guys! Quick, we can't leave them." So they go in and investigate, and as soon as they open the door and see it's Christopher Robbins, they go, "You know what? I think it's time to leave, guys. We gotta go. We gotta go." Like, I get he's not the one that screamed, but this man deserves to live too. You know, you stupid bitches. But they get over there. And, they get Chris up, and Chris is just like, "Oh my God, you gotta help me, you gotta help me." So they get him down, help him out, and all this shit, grab him. And as they're getting ready to go, they hear the same female scream earlier, and they're like, "Oh, there's somebody else here. They brought her in earlier. Go save her. I'll be okay. Just go, just go." So they go in, and she's outside. She's tied up, and she is fucked up. Her face has been chewed up. And it's like, oh God, it looks bad, man. It looks bad. But she's all like freaking out. Now, this scene, I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't catch a single fucking thing she said. I went back and watched it twice. This one scene twice. Couldn't catch a single word she said. Even with the subtitles on, I didn't catch it. Because she is mumbling so low. And I want to say, from what I caught from the subtitles, she's explaining that she's tried to talk to Pooh and Piglet. They're wild animals, basically, they're the ones that did this to her. She needs to get free, and that's all I caught. There was some other shit there. Again, I just couldn't understand her. Because she's literally crying, but she's crying so hard that she is, like, choking back behind her own tears. So all you hear is her tears, if that makes any sense. Like, you can't hear her.
I cannot remember. If I can try and, like, rewatch it, I think that... Because I'm good at, pointing out what people are trying to say. Cause
right.
I'm good with, like foreign people. If they're trying to speak English, I can actually understand what they're saying.
Right, but it was just, I don't know if it was like done in one take or what was going on. But for some reason, her audio just did not come through, and I couldn't hear anything she said. Maybe I had some headphones and turned that bitch up and had the subtitles and was hyper focused on the subtitles. I might be able to understand what she said, but I didn't catch anything she said, so I couldn't tell you anything she said during this scene. All we know is she gotta get the fuck out. So they get her out, they untie her, which is also barely an inconvenience. They grab her, they go to start walking off, and of course she has a hostile moment and sees her face in the reflection and starts freaking out. Oh my God, look what they done to me. Oh God, like, bitch, you can freak out later. You can freak the fuck out later, okay? Like, we gotta go. But no, not this bitch though. She's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. So she grabs the gun from one of the girls. And
I think it was the main.
I think it was the main girl. But she grabs one of the guns. I fucking love this scene because this scene made me not only like I'm not gonna lie. They had me going in the first half. I thought this would be like a boss ass, like badass fight scene. It's gonna be like killer shit. And maybe just want to punch the main character in the face. Let me explain. So the woman's got the gun, right? And it's a revolver, by the way. Let me add that. It's a type of revolver. I didn't catch what kind of revolver, but it is a revolver. So the woman, of course, goes out. There's a fire pit in the middle. We got all the trailers where I guess all the animals live at and whatnot. She comes out. She's like, "Piglet, where are you, Piglet?" And then shoots the gun off. One bullet goes off to get his attention, and fucking Piglet walks out. So then they start circling the fire, if that makes any sense. They start like circling, and we got these nice shots, like the flame in between them, and we got like his perspective, her perspective, and they're walking back and forth, and she's like, "I'm gonna kill you, you son of a bitch. Fuck you and your friends, Piglet. I'm going to destroy you for taking everything that is mine, for taking my life away. Like, she's got this amazing fucking monologue. And then she lifts the gun up, pulls the trigger, and nothing happens.
Because the main actor only put one round
bullet
in the chamber.
So let's pause for a second. You're telling me, this stupid bitch, let me repeat this one more time for the people in the back. This stupid bitch had a revolver, only put one bullet in this gun. Only one. Didn't even bother putting the rest in. Only one bullet. For what? Nobody in their fucking mind has one bullet in their gun unless they're going to go do something stupid. It's never explained. It's never brought up. It's just one bullet. And that shit pisses me off. Because first of all, that's bad gun etiquette. Okay? You never keep a loaded gun anywhere. As you have a gun like that, your safety, and if you don't have it loaded, make sure there shouldn't be one in the chamber. But being a revolver, there shouldn't have been one in the chamber. So, you're telling me this stupid bitch brought this gun for safety and only put one bullet in there. That was 100% wasted being shot in the air to get the killer's attention. So after I had my tiny aneurysm right there because of that moment.
Doesn't Pooh have some good sense of hearing?
No, Pooh's just really quick. Because after that, after I had my aneurysm, I felt like it was almost a stroke there because I was about to die because, seriously, who the fuck brings only one bullet? Pooh Bear's behind this woman, proceeds to grab her, pin her down to the ground, standing on top of her arms, and then drops more honey on her face. She spits that out. She's cussing at them. Fucking Piglet walks over there and proceeds to bite her into her face and eats her and kills her that way. The whole time, three of the remaining girls, they're behind this hay bale or whatever, and some reason Pooh turns around, sees them. Two of the girls run off. One of the girls stays. Right? So this one girl, she had enough. She's the part of the lesbian couple, right? So she wants revenge against Piglet. So she knocks Piglet out and changed Piglet up where that one woman was at. And while the girls are running for the life of Pooh Bear in the woods, she's talking mad shit on Piglet. You know what, you son of a bitch. I hate you and I'm gonna love doing this. This is for that woman. Ugh. This is for my friend. Ugh. And this is for my girlfriend. Ugh. And then kills them. Yeah, she did that generic line, you know, the whole... Yeah. Like, I swear to God, I was like watching Anastasia yet again. This is for my family.
The revenge with the death.
Yeah, the death.
Revenge with the death.
Yeah, the death of Piglet. But what's interesting, though, is that the entire time that's happening, we do cut back to Pooh Bear chasing, might as
Big
well
Bear
be.
in the blue house?
Yeah, might as well. Hell, I'm waiting for that to become public domain. Imagine that horror movie.
Oh, God.
The fucking sentient moon. Oh, my God.
Imagine.
Quick, somebody get in touch with somebody right now. I need to make this into a movie. Bear in the Big Blue House, make it into a horror film. Guys, we can make some great fan fiction here.
If any one of you guys who are wanting to be like, you know, an actual movie creators or are one, please make this possible.
please fund this. Fund this somewhere.
Please fund this.
But we're watching. We see Pooh and is chasing the women, and when Piglet's about to die, Pooh stops. Like, he senses this shit. Like, he knows some shit's about to go down. So he runs off, and as soon as she gets done killing Piglet and having her big triumph moment, without missing a beat, Pooh comes up behind her, chokes her out, puts her up against the wall, and I'm gonna be honest, this would have been a cool fucking kill without the bad CGI. But he takes this machete and he basically slams it into her mouth and pins her up on this pole with the machete going through her mouth. And it was badass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the whole, like, it was nice timing. It was nicely done. It was nice. It looked great for all of 5 seconds. For 5 seconds.
How on earth do they actually do these fabulous kills, like, you know, with like actual weapons?
Well, a lot of times when it comes to shit like this, they have 2 types of weapons. You got your actual, like, weapons. Like, this is why a lot of movies have what they call combat training or gun safety trainings and shit like this. Because they do use real weapons to a degree, you know, like, I have a prop sword for one of my stage performances. It's a legitimate sword. It's a real sword. It's made of metal. It's very heavy. I could kill somebody with it. But it ain't sharp and it ain't that pointy. But it still was something we used during one of our stage performances. And it was actually used for the performance, we called it Fight Night, which is where we did a bunch of choreographic fight scenes for different movies. We had...
There's only one rule.
What rule was that?
Speak about fight. I do not... Wait, was it? Don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, yeah. First rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 3, no shirts, no shoes. Rule number 4, if your opponent taps out, quits, the fight's over, the fight's done. Okay, I'm going through all the rules now. You see, you notice I watched that movie a lot. I love that movie. Fucking Edward Norton and Brad Pitt at the finest there. But yeah, when it comes to, you know, shit like that, a lot of it's prop weapons. A lot of it as well is CGI. You notice it, I want to say in Scream, especially 5 and 6, a lot of the knives, this definitely during the opening. I want to say someone gets stabbed in the face or something in the opening, or stabbed around, no, the hand shot. It was the hand shot. Where Ghostface goes to stab the what's-her-face, and she grabs it with her hand and goes through her hand. That's a fucking CGI knife, you know. Back in the day, they used to have retractable blades and shit, but that's not practical anymore. You know, it's a lot easier just to CGI this shit. But that's how they get around it, and, you know, I give them props. At least they did have some actual practical weapons and shit. It's just completely ruined by all the CGI blood. But after this poor woman dies a very nice death and it completely ruined by the bad CGI blood, the other 2 girls, the main character and girl with the glasses, see this and they run off. And as they're running, Pooh Bear, of course, is chasing them, and they flag a vehicle that is stopped for some fucked up reason in the middle of the road. And there's, 4 rednecks all in this vehicle. And this is another moment that pissed me off. What would you do if you were with your buddies, y'all drinking, y'all having a good time, and you see 2 girls running frantically through the woods, covered in bits of blood here and there, screaming and looking terrified as fuck, going, "We gotta get out of here. He's killing people. We gotta go." What would you do?
I would tell them to get into the car straight away, then drive the fuck out.
Right, and that would be something I would do. Not these motherfuckers, though.
These idiots.
One of them literally says the words, "I don't understand what you're saying." Even though she's saying as clear as day, "We gotta get the fuck out of here," he says, "I have no idea what you're saying."
Yeah.
So eventually, as they're going like a back and forth thing of, "Hey, you know, we gotta go. No, y'all ladies get in the car." They see Pooh Bear standing there, and they're like, "Oh, is that the guy fucking with you? You don't understand." All right. Boys, come on, you know, so they all get out and they all grab their weapons and shit, you know, being boss ass, you know, they walk up. And it's like another slow walk to Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear ain't even moving. They were slowly walking to him, and they're, like, trying to talk mad shit. They're like, "Why you fucking with these girls, huh? What's your problem, man?" You know, trying to act all tough and shit. And then, of course, the girls, you know, they're freaking out. And eventually, one of the guys like, "Hey, man, the girls are freaking out." "Yeah, because of what this freak's doing. So you know what, boys? Let's kick his ass." So they all, like, circle him to get ready to beat his ass. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, they're going to do that Michael Myers bullshit again from Halloween Kills, where everyone just gangs up on him, beats the shit out of him, and then he stands up and kills them all. They don't even give me that satisfaction. They literally, I think, hit him like 2 or 3 times. Like, one time with the crowbar, and when Pooh didn't even flinch, he was like, "Oh, all right. Tough son of a bitch, huh?" Boom. Like, if it didn't work the first time, man, why do you think it's gonna work the second time? But they all take turns hitting him, and then Pooh eventually gets mad when this one guy takes a beer bottle, smacks him upside the head with it, and Pooh turns around, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get this. Are they trying to imply Pooh Bear got bigger or something? Because I swear to God, the next scene when he turns around, he's taller than the guy. You know, instead of being like the same height where they originally were, he seems taller, like he's towering over them. Like he fucking grew like 20 inches or something. I didn't get it. Because you remember after that, he ends up like karate chopping this dude's face, basically making half his face fall off. The other guy, I think he ends up just smushing him, like breaking his hand, and then stepping on his foot, and then stepping on his leg. The other guy, of course, you know, he passes out from blood loss from his face, and then the fourth guy goes to run off, and Pooh just throws the bees at him. The bees just kill him. The girls finally start the car, right? It takes them a minute. Now, I would just think that if the action's all happening in front of you, right? You would put that bitch in reverse and then go the fuck out.
I would let you turn the car on first. So basically, if anything does happen, and you can just get out straight away without hesitation. No, not these.
No, not these bitches. No. They try to run his ass over, right? They try to run his ass over. And it's rather obvious they ran his ass over because we hear the boom as they run his ass over. And like fucking Michael Myers, he magically just hopped into the vehicle. And what I mean by like Michael Myers, if y'all remember in Halloween 4, The Curse of Michael Myers, explain this one to me. If y'all remember, near the ending of the movie, you know, Michael attacks them in the school. And Rachel and the little girl, I can't think of her name right this second.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a good one. It's actually one of my favorite guilty pleasures when it comes to Halloween. But there's a scene when they're in the school and Rachel's got the little girl and the redneck people that have been in the halfway through the movie because they couldn't get in touch with the police station. They got these redneck fuckers just going ham in the city trying to find Michael Myers. But they hear the alarm of the school because Rachel's done pulled the fire alarm and shit. They break out. And the rednecks pull up and they're like, oh my god, he's in the school. We gotta go. Fuck it. Let's let state troopers handle him. They fucking all pound his vehicle and then drive off, right? Right? Michael was still in the school. And then they drive off. Tell me why, literally the next scene, they're driving. We got two guys, you know, standing in the trunk of the truck, you know, leaning over the hood, not the hood, but the top of the truck, you know, all being badass. We got the one guy driving. We got Rachel holding the little girl, and Michael just pops up from behind the truck, just like he's been hanging on this entire time. I'm just like, that makes no sense.
Like hitching a ride.
Right, but it makes no sense because he was in the school, but somehow he made it there.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what is
like,
the serial killer superpower here?
That's like the Scream as well. You know, everything's, you know, what we actually see here is like the old classic, you know, horrors from the old times, you know.
Right,
Again with Cocaine Bear, I literally pinpoint Jason Voorhees and Michael and all of that. Again, with this one, it's like Ghostface, and of course what Amanda's saying about, you know, Halloween 4. Because if you guys remember, whenever they quote-unquote kill Ghostface, he just disappears.
Right, he always does that. And that's what exactly happened here with Pooh Bear. He fucking just disappears and then pops up right behind the goddamn vehicle. And he's crawling up. And this entire, I'm talking about agonizingly long scene. A Pooh Bear coming up to the front of the vehicle. And he's just, just like slamming his hands on the roof of the truck. The girls are just screaming, by the way. And I'm screaming, someone slam the brakes! Nobody slams the brakes, though.
Amanda, do you want to hear the funny thing?
What's up?
I was saying
the same thing.
The same thing. step on the fucking brakes.
Right? Just step on the brakes. No,
We've
couldn't even do that.
we all know that specific thing. If there's somebody on the top of your roof just looking over, just literally step on it. They'll let you fucking slide
Like, just
off.
slam it, yeah. But no, they don't do that. And I don't know exactly. Maybe you can explain this to me. What exactly happened to stop the vehicle? Did they run into a tree or something? Like, what happened?
They did eventually stop.
But what caused them to like slam their like the one girl looked like she like slammed her head into the steering wheel and then into the windshield or something because her head was like bleeding like a son of a bitch. The other girl's being dragged out by the time we wake up. And I don't know. It's like if you slammed on brakes, I feel like that was very aggressive, and I didn't see a tree or anything. I even had that on my notes.
I didn't see anything. I did not see anything.
But yeah, it was almost like they crashed into nothing. If that makes any sense.
Because they did. Because do you want me to carry on with some of the things?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, as you all know about Pooh Bear, literally on the top, they were driving off, like screaming and everything, whilst he was trying to punch. Was he trying to punch the window?
Yeah. He knocked at the window. He just knocked on the roof of the vehicle and all that shit.
Yeah, but eventually they did step on the brakes because there was nothing there.
But yeah, somehow it was almost like a fucking crash.
So,
Like, it was like they crashed.
Basically, I think it's like a little bit of like a whiplash type of thing.
I don't know. I just thought it was stupid to be honest. 'Cause it literally sounded like a crash. It looked like a car crash, but there was nothing there. There was nothing there.
But eventually we'll get to that. But then all of a sudden Pooh Bear just come flying off.
Yeah, he eventually does get off the fucking roof of the vehicle, but he ends up standing up and pulling the girl with glasses out of the vehicle while the other girl is standing there, or not standing, but she's sitting in the vehicle, you know, kind of dazed and shit. And you hear the girl screaming. And I'm thinking we're about to have like this grand moment of her getting her energy back. You know, she's about to go save her friend. Nope. No, we cut to the next scene. There's fucking Pooh Bear standing there holding her head, and then he throws it onto the windshield, completely ruined by the CGI blood yet again. I'm not going to let this movie live this down. You ruined one of the best aspects of your movie with crappy CGI blood. I'm sorry, not sorry, but that is the truth.
If this was like real blood, then this would be in a fucking hell of a movie, but no.
Like
CGI ruins franchise.
It does.
Movies.
I hate to say it.
Never use GPI.
Now, CGI, if done correctly, is good. Like, we've seen it all with some good-ass horror movies doing some CGI. Now, case in point, a bad CGI. A good example, the best example I can give you where practical effects were used, but they decided to go with CGI route instead, and it ruined the whole movie. It's the prequel to The Thing. Look at The Thing prequel, and then look at the original prequel, the original Thing. One's got practical.
Didn't this movie get rejected numerous times?
Yes, because at the time, Pooh Bear was not in the public domain, so they thought it might cross that line. I want to say that was one of the articles I read, but there could have been several reasons why this movie was pushed. Could have been just bad writing, no money. It could have been countless things. Yeah. But after that disappointing factor of the head being thrown to the windshield, we see the girl, freaking out. She's trying to start the vehicle. It ain't working, so Pooh Bear pulls her out and puts her in front of the hood of the car, and for some reason he's taking his time on this one. He has her against the light, and he's raising up the knife, taking his time, like he's looking at every detail of the knife, getting every detail of this knife. He's like, oh, look at her. She looks so gorgeous, screaming in terror, the fear in her eyes. Oh, that little blood trickling down the side of her cheek. That looks great. Oh, my knife is so shiny. Why he's thinking all this shit, though? Christopher Robin comes out of fucking nowhere with a vehicle. Like Ex Machina, all the Ex Machinas I ever seen. screaming, "Fuck you!" and then slams his vehicle into Pooh Bear, and Pooh Bear conveniently lets go of the girl, and she falls to the side. So Pooh Bear is stuck between these two vehicles, and of course the vehicle catches on fire. Christopher gets out, and we're thinking, okay, we're wrapping up this movie. This seems like a great fucking ending. Yeah, I feel this. I feel this. No, we still got like 5 more minutes of this shit.
No.
So Christopher gets out, and he sees the girl, and he's like, "Oh my god, are you all right? You all right? You know, you good?" And she, yeah, I can't walk. And they proceed to try to get up, and Pooh Bear's still fucking alive, by the way. Which this,
how?
Yeah, this bothers me.
Like, talking about like fucking Mr. X style right here from Resident Evil 2.
Right, and this bothers me.
Leon's story with Ada driving straight into Mr. X.
And this shit bothers me because of the fact that why did Piglet die when a sledgehammer went into his head? But this man got ran the fuck over, smacked with a vehicle, actually got hit upside the head with a jack, and he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
Why does he get special plot armor, but not Piglet?
Busted. Not even busted.
Yeah.
Not a single scratch.
Yeah, the man just like fucking mistake. Like you said, mistake, just asshole. And he kept on going. But after all that shit, they're trying to get away from Pooh. Pooh literally Mr. X the vehicle and pushes it. Just
Mr.
fucking
Rex again.
Yeah, but straight up
Mr.
pushes
Rex
the car out the way. Proceeds to walk towards them. There's an explosion. I'm not even lying. There's a fucking explosion. Knocks both the people back. And Chris again starts just pleading, "Pooh, don't do this. Don't do this. She did nothing." Pooh grabs the girl and he's holding her in front of Chris. And he's got a knife to her throat. And he's like, "Pooh Bear, take me instead. It'll be you and me forever, man. 100%. It'll be just like the old days. I love you, Pooh." And Pooh sits there and he smiles. I guess. I don't know.
He's always smiling. He's always smiling.
I can't even tell with this mask because the mask just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But he's standing there. And Pooh don't give a fuck. Pooh just slits the girl's throat. And this part also bothered me because of the fact that...
Fucking... For a final kill. Like,
yeah. It's
final
not even...
kill.
And I would say that that it's not even bad blood because we got that nice blood coming out of her mouth. I mean, there's actually no CGI blood here, which is surprising. But it's how Christopher reacts. He's like holding her and like cuddling her as she's dying, like she's the love of his life or something. Like he's about to cry because she's dying. Now I get it, maybe it's a human thing.
Yeah, like this. But not with his actual fiance.
Right, who we just saw him scream, no, when he saw her body. But yeah, this chick, he don't even know. He's just holding her.
Properly emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional, Dan.
Yeah, like he's overly emotional for no fucking reason. But after this, he gets up. And Pooh Bear just stands on top of this woman and fucking overkills on her for no goddamn reason. Like, he literally just takes his knife and starts stabbing her in the head. She's already dead, but he's just, just keeps doing it. And Christopher's looking, from far because he's now running down the road. And it ends with the camera panning over to the flames. We see the car on fire. We see the decapitated head / half the spinal cord of the Jessica girl, which funny enough, her spinal cord wasn't there when he originally threw the head. Just FYI,
actually.
Wasn't there, but they added that in post credits. But after that, it cuts to black. I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna have like a final 5-minute moment.
No, I cannot remember, but was there blood on the window that they were using the window wipers?
Oh yeah, there was, because the chick freaked the fuck out and turned the windshield wipers on. I forgot about that.
I just remembered.
She turned the fucking windshield wipers on and
just remember there's gotta be some other reason why, but no. Oh. Pooh Bear again was on top. How he was he was trickling some blood or put something which was like bloody on the fucking window, and they just like
I know.
switch on the fucking window.
It's fucking funny. I forgot about that shit. I even have this.
I'm just like, stop! You're making it fucking
You're making this shit worse, man. But yeah, you would think after all that shit, we got the camera panning over the fire and stuff, Christopher running. You think there would be one more scene, one more moment, like a final jump scare, something like that. No, the movie just ends. That's it. The movie's just over, and that shit pissed me off. I'm like,
no after credits.
yeah, and there's no after credit scene. There's nothing that's like the movie just abruptly ends. It's like they ran out of time to film an actual ending and called it a day. Like I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, no, it bad. Like
Yeah.
I've seen some bad endings. That was just a bad fucking
Piglet
ending.
dies. Pooh Bear's Mr. X.
Fucking
Unbeatable.
Chris is just the ex machina of all ex machina, and all those girls we got to know didn't fucking matter. Like I said, we spent all this like.
What was the point of all of those characters, those females?
There was no point. They were just candy fodder.
Yeah. Christopher was just. No, why?
Oh God, Piglet, why? And the dude was a bitch. Like, I'm sorry, like that man was my boyfriend. I would be highly disappointed. I would highly be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, sis, I showed that the scene to Eric, and he was like, baby, if that was me, I would be like, I don't give a shit how tall this fucking redneck asshole looks. Like, I would beat the shit out of him till he leaves the guy off your throat.
Yeah.
I was like, now that's a real man right there. Like, I will beat the shit out of this guy, even though he would probably kick my ass. But damn it.
I mean, like, come on. Piglet. He's got fucking horns on his fucking
fucking
face.
tusk. Piglet's got fucking tusk. Doesn't even look like Piglet. The fucking
But could they be used for a weapon? Did they not think about that?
No, they didn't. They really didn't. My problem with this movie is they got a decent premise. Like, the idea of taking a child's story, such as Winnie the Pooh, and making a horror movie out of it is a clever idea. A twist in the fairy tale. I love shit like that. We've seen movies like this where they've taken, especially if you go back to Grimm's fairy tales, where all these fairy tales originated from. They're fucking dark. Like, seriously, they're dark. Case in point, some of the more darker moments from Disney that Disney cuts out. Sleeping Beauty, Aurora is actually never woken up, and she is raped and gives birth to babies while she's still asleep. And fucking Little Mermaid, Ariel doesn't get the guy in the end. She ends up losing her voice to Ursula, and then sewing her legs together, and then jumping into the ocean, becoming sea foam. We have
Snow White, who literally just gets slaughtered.
Yeah, she gets slaughtered. And
by her Prince Charming.
Yeah, and Cinderella, the evil stepsisters, not only mutilate their feet to fit into their shoe. Like, one girl cuts off her heel, another girl cuts off her toes to get into the shoe. After they find out who the owner of the shoe is, Cinderella sends a bunch of birds to peck out their eyes. So, yeah, having children-like stories become horror movies, it's a good fucking idea.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Grimm's fairy tales. Fabulous ideas. They didn't push it, though.
Elsa from Frozen. She can use her eyes for,
yeah.
I mean, eyes is eyes. She can fucking...
It's
If she can freeze fucking Anna.
Like, seriously.
Who knows what else that she can do with that power.
Right. But the point is that I give them props for doing something creative, something new, something fresh, especially with something that just came out in the public domain. That's just like your middle fingers to Disney. I understand that. You just didn't push the boundaries enough. Like, seriously, I actually came out with a better idea than what we got. And here's my idea. Here's actually my idea. All right. All right. So we take the origins of Christopher Robin. My idea is we tell the story just a little bit, and here's the one difference. Christopher Robin was the only one who hung out with the crew of 100 Acre Woods. Christopher Robin had one friend that was never mentioned in any of the stories that joined him on these wild adventures. And growing up, and they all hung out, they all had a good time, and of course, once you get older, you gotta move away. Well, Christopher Robin moves away, the other guy doesn't. The other guy, for all these times, these months that Christopher Robin is away, he keeps going back to the 100 Acre Woods. They're not there. Chris ain't there. Eeyore's not there. Piglet, Pooh, nobody's there. And it drives him crazy. It drives him, lonely because Christopher Robin and, these 100 Acre Wood people were his only friends. So when Chris comes back, to show his girlfriend, hey, this is my own stomping grounds. This is what my life used to be. There's the crazy friend. And he's deranged and shit. And he's just like, Chris, where are they? Where's Pooh? Where's fucking Pooh Bear? Why is he not here? It's been years. And I have like an entire fucking meltdown, right? And then we can have this moment where he kills Christopher Robin and his girlfriend, and that snaps his fucking brain into reality, and he starts seeing Pooh Bear and Eeyore and all them, and they're telling him to kill for him. Boom, right there. Great fucking movie. I just took a generic plot, just like they did, but made it 10 times better. Like, think about that. Think about the fact that then we can add the whole girls, showing up, for this cabin and shit. And you can keep the whole plot line of the girl dealing with the stalker. Because the crazy dude can play into this by stalking the girl, thinking she can see them too. Because let's say in this reality of the movie, the Winnie the Pooh books have been out. So everybody knows about Winnie the Pooh. Say Christopher Robin wrote the Winnie the Pooh books. I want to say, didn't they do that for the live action with Hugh McGregor? That was the whole premise, that Christopher Robin wrote the books, and that's why they were alive? Or something like that. I didn't really watch that one. I wanted to because it got Hugh McGregor in it. But
that's Peter Rabbit.
No, not Peter Rabbit. Not Peter Rabbit. This was a Winnie the Pooh one.
Because that had Mr. McGregor in as well.
Did it? Huh. I thought the Peter Rabbit one had somebody else in it. But, Hugh McGregor, he played Christopher. Love the idea. I never got to watch the movie, though. But, yeah, you could do something like that. And then, have, like, the girl, she's, like, a big fan of Winnie the Pooh. She grew up with it or something. That was, like, her keep me safe after the whole incident with the stalker. She kind of not got obsessed with Pooh, but she has a little Pooh Bear or something that she carries around. And the crazy guy, thinking she's got Pooh Bear, she can see Pooh too, so she can join the whole thing. So he's got to kill all her friends and get her to come with. Like, seriously, I'm writing a better story as I'm rambling on about a movie that doesn't exist, except in my own head. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Not really pisses me off, but it just annoys me. The fact that with just a little creativity and a little thinking, they could have done so much more. So much more with this movie. And it just disappointed me that they did. And they literally went as generic and as basic, painted by numbers with, alright, overkills, check. Random killer wearing a mask, check. Indestructible, check. Pointless nudity, check. Just going through all this fucking checklist, and they're not even writing a story, and it's all because they just want to middle finger to fucking Disney. But it is what it is. Let's see how the rest of these movies turn out. Maybe Winnie the Pooh 2 might be better. Maybe one of his other ones, the Bambi. It's not Pinocchio at all. I'm sorry. Pinocchio. It was Peter Pan, actually. He's Peter Pan. He's doing a Peter Pan one, not a Pinocchio one. That's my bad. Wrong P one. But he's doing a Peter Pan one. That one I'm a little interested in because Peter Pan, if you think about it, it's extremely fucking creepy. The fact that his fairy tale is also fucked up. Originally, he kidnaps these kids. That's why they're the Lost Boys. They're not there because, we're having fun. No, Peter kidnaps them. Oh, it gets dark. It gets so fucking dark. But, yeah, hopefully, maybe that will be better. Maybe, you know, these movies get better. We can only hope. We can really only hope. But I think we done rambled on long enough. I'm gonna be honest, AJ. I was noticing something when I started this podcast about 20 minutes in. I hit the wrong desktop audio, so we didn't catch you in the first 20 minutes, unfortunately.
Nope.
Yeah, I hit desktop audio 1 and not 2. And that's where you're coming in at with audio 2. So I fucked up there. That was my bad. But, yeah, that was my bad, man. Like, I really feel bad about that. I noticed it when I was listening to you talk, and I looked over to my OBS, and I didn't see the bar move. I'm like, why is the bar not moving? Is it not? And then I scrolled down and saw I muted the wrong one. I'm like, oh. And there's nothing we could do about it now because you're 30 minutes in. I'm sorry. That was my fuck up. I do apologize. But I did catch it, so. Again, I think the only thing they might have missed was you even brought it up a couple more times after I muted you about the piglet thing. You know, him looking like a wildebeest. But I do apologize for that, man.
Literally. Why does Piglet look like a bloody bull?
I don't know, man. Why does anything in this movie?
I cannot get that out of my mind. Cannot get that out of my head. Who came back again? If you've not seen that podcast, guys, make sure you go and check it out.
Like I said, I'll leave it.
Funny as anything.
I will leave the description down below. Have a bit better audio. Again, guys, I do apologize for the desktop mix-up. That was my bad. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I always say, you never know what fuck shit's gonna happen. Trust me, I never know. But I think we rambled on long enough. Do you have any final comments about this movie besides don't go watch it, save your money, save your time?
If you do want to watch it, then best of luck.
It's gonna feel like the longest hour and a half of your time, like which is sad because Cocaine Bear was also an hour and a half, but Cocaine Bear was so much fun that when it ended, I was sad. I was like, I want to see more of this bullshit. Fucking Pooh Bear ended, and I was like, oh my god.
Here's the thing with Cocaine Bear, right? We paused it numerous of times due to laughter, talking about it, but yet. It's still, you know,
it's still better.
So short. It felt so short.
I needed more of that bear. Joke. I needed more of that bear. I needed more time with that bear on cocaine. I really did. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast here because this is my final thoughts on the movie. Don't waste your time. Don't do it. Like, kudos to the creators of this movie. You went with a fantastic idea. Bad execution though. But
better word better.
Yeah, it could have been better. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this podcast here. I hope everybody who has watched is watching and will watch. I hope you enjoy. I hope everybody has a fantastic and a wonderful night. And you're watching this podcast wherever here on YouTube, audiobook, Spotify, wherever. Please just give this video a like, subscribe, and a comment down wherever at because you never know what fuck shit's gonna happen. Trust me, I never know. Probably not next week. I won't be doing a podcast because I am in the process right now of working on the podcast. What I mean by that is I am going to do a podcast on the new Fatal Frame game that came out a couple months ago. It was the 2008 one that came from Japan, from the Wii. I actually have a copy of it. I'm in the process of playing it now. We will have gameplay footage and all that sometime starting this week. And rolling into next week, I don't know how long this game's going to take me. And I at least make sure I get the game done before I do the podcast. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure I'm going to have one. Because I do want to talk about the lunar eclipse and also Made in Blackwater. I got to go back and replay Made in Blackwater again. But that'll be for another podcast. But that's a story for another day. So until then, my friends, y'all take care.